Good morning. Time now is 11:01. Thank you for watching this digital weather now. Today we are talking about rain chances, Labor Day, wishing you the best. Hopefully you are at home enjoying it with your family, your loved one, your kiddos, whoever, your friends, and enjoying this Labor Day Monday. So today we do have weather that could impact some plans out there. I think it's pretty much an average chance that you're going to be impacted by weather as we remain in this very typical summertime pattern with just a little bit of added moisture, a little bit of added lift getting those clouds growing, and a few more showers and thunderstorms than we had Saturday. We saw similar stuff yesterday as to what we're going to see through the rest of this morning and on into this afternoon. In fact, this morning we had a couple showers out there zooming down into Safe Touch or to Savannah on the Safe Touch Security First Alert Live radar. One little shower here in Midtown, really staying south of Victory there, but trying to build over towards Abercorn. Maybe Victory if you're west of Abercorn, you could get in on this shower activity, but it appears to be weakening. So I'm going to zoom on down in here, nice and tight on the city of Savannah, going over the past 15 minutes. And you can see as I slow it down here for you, it began over here, went through Thunderbolt, crossed the River Drive there. They're in Fernwood, Daffin Heights, so Daffin Park getting a little bit of a shower, probably enough to wet the street, make little puddles. Now going over towards Abercorn Heights and Staley Heights, and then, downtown Savannah further north, remaining dry at the moment, at least with this shower. But this is tracking in the general direction of, let's say maybe as far west as Chatham Parkway and I-16, or maybe points just south in there between Chatham Parkway and I-16, Chatham Parkway and 17 Ogeechee. That is just one of the showers that we're watching, but right now the only one that's impacting the Chatham County, or I should say the city of Savannah area. Another shower here soaked downtown Pooler, Old Pooler here, almost parallel through 80, so soaked Pooler, soaked Bloomingdale, now headed towards Meldrum. Here, Roebling Road points south of there. If you're watching from the cutoff there on 80 to the west of Bloomingdale to get down to Meldrum, that's the road right there, but it's not named. I take it every Monday, but I can't remember today. But that's dry. But on the south side of Meldrum, closer to I-16, we have a little bit of a shower, enough to, again, slow you down just a little bit. Put on the windshield wipers for about 5 minutes, and then it's over, it's done with, and you are through it. The heavier shower activity, and this has been the case all morning, is actually down here across portions of Glenn and McIntosh counties. From, Dock Junction, north of Brunswick, over to Zuda, Georgia 25, or Georgia 27, I should say, but kind of right along the river there, and then over towards Thowman and pushing towards Georgia 32. We have these isolated but heavy showers moving onto the west into portions of Atkinson County, also maybe Pierce-Brantley counties, and a little bit further to the north, McIntosh County. We do have in the Sapelo area, Raccoon Bluff to Sapelo Island. In fact, the island proper going to get doused by some heavy rain, then heading towards Meridian, Georgia 99, possibly on the north end of Darien. You already have seen a couple showers this morning, and there's more moisture out here. Again, we have a kind of a upper level area of low pressure. This is not related to Gordon. We have our own little system up here that is, if anything, kind of skirting around the same ridge of high pressure that is steering Gordon away from us. And this moisture kind of pooling up out here. You can see all the scattered showers and storms. Now, not all of these are going to make it inland, but it will, enhance rainfall, scattered variety showers and thunderstorms around the coastal empire and the low country today. So on that note, now that I've kind of done a radar tour, and I will have a tropical update here coming up in just a moment. I'm sure we're getting a lot of questions about that. We did send a video alert, a video forecast update with that to the WTOC weather app in addition to today's forecast. And you can also go to WTOC.com, hover over the weather tab, click on WTOC Hurricane Center. That'll bring you to a nice, awesome page with a kind of a full rundown of everything tropical weather, and you can view it right there on a laptop, on a smartphone, if it's a link that we tweeted out maybe on the WTOC First Alert Twitter account. Min, Michael Washington, is it going to rain in Statesboro? I would plan for rain in Statesboro, but it's going to be hit or miss. It'll rain in Bullitt County, but I don't know if Statesboro is going to get that shower, that thunderstorm, but I would plan for rain. I think it's pretty likely you're going to at least see something between now and the end of the day. Linda, rain in Bluffton, already some showers on Hilton Head Island this morning, and I do think that there will be some more ongoing through the day. In fact, a couple more showers here off of Hilton Head Island. These may not make it, but they may help spark new showers, little tiny heavy downpours there over Bluffton. So I would plan for rain in Bluffton. I'm doing well, Zachary. Hopefully the same for you. Pamela says sunny in Richmond Hill right now, and you know that's the name of the game. Some people get soaked, others have sunshine. It's scattered showers, hit or miss. The bottom line is here, and this is for my own plans too. I would not cancel, but I would be aware that the weather can impact you on a day like today, and just pay a little extra attention. Check radar every so often. Look up at the sky, see if rain's approaching your area. May pause your plans for 20-30 minutes, and then it will move on. Shirley says, cloudy along Largo Drive and westward. Thanks for that report. Again, some folks seeing sun, others seeing more rain. Tracy, is it going to rain near the mall? I would plan on it. I can't tell you if it's going to rain exactly. I just can't, but I would plan for rain because we're going to have more scattered shower thunderstorms in the day in the area this afternoon. Crystal, thank you for watching. She says just rain in Bloomingdale. We were tracking that shower a moment ago. Jamie says last day it splashed in the borough. What do you think, Cutter? I think it's dry now. I think it's dry for at least the next couple of hours. Go out, do it. We'll probably have rain this afternoon, but it's been a dry morning in Statesboro. It's dry now, so nothing really holding you back at the moment. Go out and just enjoy what you can of it, of the day out there. And then if you hear thunder, please do leave the water park or at least go to safety until it passes. Nicole, Savannah weather tomorrow. We have a few downpours, a little bit less than today. Temperatures probably in the upper 80s near the beaches, mid to upper 80s there, and then about 90 or so away from the water. Tallulah, rain in Hinesville. Yep, scattered showers, thunderstorms in the Hinesville area. Nothing at the moment. You're dry for at least the next 30 minutes, but as we go into late morning, the rest of this morning, the last hour or so, and then the early afternoon, that rain chance will steadily increase. You're very welcome, Tracy. Tammy says, what about Jessup? It rained earlier, but nothing bad. No, it's not going to be bad, but it's a summertime setup. It's what we've been having for weeks and weeks and weeks. You get rained on, probably going to be heavy. It'll move on by. Maybe not even that much thunder and lightning with some of these today, but there will be a couple of thunderstorms intermixed with the little showers, and that's going to be the trend today. I mean, I would not cancel plans, but there certainly will be showers and a couple of thunderstorms around, and something to be aware of because your plans may be impacted. It's not going to rain all day nonstop, but there is going to be rain around. We've seen that since this morning. We'll see more of it hour by hour going to the early to mid-afternoon, and then rain chances gradually subside. Still rain around through the evening, and then after sunset, that portion of the evening, mid to late evening time frame, isolated showers and thunderstorms still possible as moisture rolls in from the beaches, but less of it overall. Crystal says now it's raining again. You're very welcome, Zach. Thank you for watching. So now that we've kind of detailed today, giving you a tour of radar, I do want to talk about the tropics because we have a lot going on. Let's go to Gordon first here. Tropical storm. This was declared earlier this morning, 7:50 or so. We got that 8 a.m. update before the top of the hour. And visually looking more and more impressive, this tight little circulation. You can never turn your back on these when they are small, and this is a small system in size. That they tend to just ignore all the things that that Mother Nature throws at them, if you will. You know, we already have some wind shear here. We have a little bit of land interaction. But in this case, this sort of land interaction may have actually helped it a little bit tighten up. But notice, you know, from West Palm Beach down to Key West or so, it's not a huge tropical system. And when you have a small system like this, it tends to be able to actually punch those negative factors out and kind of just ignore the things that would typically negate strengthening. So it visually is quickly becoming more and more organized. We're waiting. We have hurricane hunters down in this area right now, waiting to see exactly what they find. They're also sampling around it, and they're going to be inputting that data into other computer models that we run in the future. So a much better idea as to how strong Gordon may get. Pretty confident, though, in the track, and they have updated this as of 11 a.m., now forecasting it to make landfall along the Mississippi Gulf Coast as a 70-mile-per-hour sustained wind packing tropical storm, but would not be surprised if this was a hurricane making landfall along the central Gulf Coast. Now, the good thing here is that it is not a huge system in size. So it's a relatively, even though it's big old populated areas here, a relatively small system. If you're east of that little core, it won't be all too bad. The other good thing is here, pressure probably isn't going to be that low, and winds, while they're going to be strong in a small area, they're not spread out. So it's not going to move a ton of water. Not expecting storm surge to be crazy here, but certainly enough to cause coastal flooding, and that's going to be something that they will be monitoring. I need to actually change over the title of this banner. I'm just noticing. I don't know why that didn't change earlier. You have to accept my apology. But this is Tropical Storm Gordon. Sustained winds 45 miles per hour, moving quickly. Actually, we'll be able to see if they updated this. Moving. Okay, so still west-northwest. Thanks, Dave. West-northwest at 16. That's moving very quickly, especially for a Gulf system, and expected to take maybe a more northerly turn, and then maybe bending back to the west there across North Louisiana into North Texas. Still be watching that up there, but by then it's much weaker, more of a rainmaker. Tammy, you're welcome. Anita, thank you for watching. Waving back at you. And two more areas. So we've updated you on Gordon. This may end up being a hurricane making landfall. You're going to hear about this on Facebook, your friends at the Gulf Coast, and on the news this evening and again tomorrow morning. We're going to be tracking this for you, letting you know how our brothers and our sisters along the Gulf Coast are doing. But something the United States, the Caribbean, Bermuda especially, will be watching here is actually Florence. Not a quick strengthener, not something that develops very quickly and organizes quickly like Gordon. It's been a struggle bus to get this to really, to really flare up. Now, this too is a smaller system. This is not a huge, expansive in size. It's not a big old tropical system like some of the tropical storms and hurricanes we've seen in the past, but nonetheless looking a little bit better organized. Notice this nice little banding starting to wrap in on the kind of northwestern flank, also the eastern flank there, and we're starting to see, that cirrus cloud deck, the little fluffy kind of feathery looking clouds there, starting to see that expand just a little bit and some new thunderstorms developing around the center. So something we will be watching here the next several days. This is one we're going to be watching for many days, not just a couple like Gordon. Sheena, waving back at you. Good morning, Ann. Hello, Laura. Cole wants to know, is New Orleans supposed to get hit? That area, southeast Louisiana, Mississippi Gulf Coast, Alabama Gulf Coast, that's the area to really pay attention. Not sure exactly where the worst conditions are, but New Orleans will be in the impacted area, and certainly something that they will be watching closely here for the next 36 to 48 hours. So that's what Florence is doing right now. I want to talk about Florence going forward, because remember how last week we were talking about Florence going out to sea, not being a problem for anybody. That is still a distinct possibility, but there have been some trends over the past few days that suggest maybe a slightly more westward shift in the track, and deserving of even more attention from especially folks in Bermuda, especially folks that may be cruising in the southwestern Atlantic. I know this isn't a popular cruise spot per se, but still, if you are out there, if you're flying to Puerto Rico, if you have plans going to Bermuda especially, this is going to be something to watch. So I'm going to turn all these little icons back on so you can get an idea as to the strength of the system. And again, where it's forecast to reach a strong tropical storm intensity, 70 mile per hour sustained winds by this evening, but actually encountering a lot of wind shear here in the middle of this path, so weakening Wednesday, Thursday, and then heading into the weekend may encounter improving conditions once again, strengthening once again. Now, it's just complicated because here's the deal. We have a lot of features going on across the North Atlantic here. We kind of have a broken ridge of high pressure, and I know I'm getting kind of sciencey and nerdy here. And these ridges, tend to steer these things westward. There's a little bit of a break, though, that may allow it to be pulled northward, but we actually need Florence to get stronger quicker in order for it to really realize that little weakness and be pulled up and out to sea and away from the United States. If it misses this little turn, or this little area that it can escape to, we might have to watch for a slightly more westward bend to the track. Not saying it's a threat to to us. We have many days to watch this, but especially if you have cruise plans, if you're going to Bermuda here next week, late this weekend, next week, something to casually keep an eye on. Good morning, Kathy. Lena, thank you for watching. Cheryl says, I have family in New Orleans, just want them to be safe. Absolutely wishing the best for them. Tell them to watch WVUE Fox 8. It's a great local station, our sister station there, and we would be happy to answer any questions you may have. If you don't hear from them, or if you have questions about the weather in New Orleans, if everything's going okay, you can find me on Facebook, WTOC Cutter Martin, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Lastly, but certainly not least, another tropical wave has emerged off the coast of Africa, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the National Hurricane Center's website and check out the latest update with this. Don't expect too many changes. Looks like still a low risk for tropical development, actually up to a 30% chance that this develops into a tropical system here over the next 5 days. So bear with me here while I update this graphic for you all watching at home. A 30% chance of this tropical wave emerging off of the African coast develops somewhere in this yellow shaded area. Of course, United States, Greater Antilles, Lesser Antilles, South America, Mexico, Africa, Mediterranean, Europe here is kind of blocked. The Cabo Verde Islands, similar area that Florence developed in, but a little bit further south. We're going to be watching this one because this, I should say, this is an area that definitely can foster some big storms, and when they develop south like this, they tend to want to move a little bit further to the west. So once again, Caribbean cruise plans, second week of September into the third week, we will be watching this closely for you all at home, so you don't have to worry about these things. Just all you need to do is have a way to stay updated, and that's what we're watching now. And again, if you're just now tuning in, the most pressing system of them all is Gordon down here in South Florida. Spinning away, bringing some nasty weather to them. In fact, we actually have some live video out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is going to be courtesy of EarthCam. Again, down in South Florida, we have that video showing the heavy rain and the gusty winds and that nastiness out there. And you can see the dark skies. Waves are elevated. The winds were actually gustier earlier. The rain was heavier earlier. So they're getting bands, and within those bands, the conditions get nasty. And then they improve a little bit in and away from those bands. So going back to Safe Touch Security First Alert Live radar right now, going to go ahead and stop this radar, and it's moving off to the northwest quickly. And of course, this is the area of lowest pressure now emerging south of Naples. Quickly into the Gulf of Mexico. And you can see all that moisture, nasty rain bands, maybe isolated tornadoes embedded within this, rotating on its eastern side, but starting to become a little bit more compact here. Of course, there's wind shear blowing across this right now, so the west side is pretty dry. But we're probably going to see this fill in, become a more tight circulation, and possibly a stronger system. Can't rule out it reaching hurricane status, even though that's not currently the forecast here, as it approaches the central Gulf Coast. Tamara, is the National Weather Service predicting a busier hurricane season this year than last year? No, forecast to be not as busy as last year. But again, it only takes one hurricane in your area or in your friend's area or wherever area to be worse than last year if you weren't impacted last year. But if we're talking about overall, not last year, conditions much different than they were in 2017. Good morning, Lily. Randy, thank you for watching. Jeannie, hello to you. And it looks like everyone's kind of caught up with the forecast. Again, we're watching the tropics. We'll continue to watch it for you. WTOC.com, Hurricane Center tab, WTOC Weather app. There's a video in there detailing Gordon behind me. And, of course, the News at Daybreak tropical updates about 9-10 minutes past the top of every hour. Also, as it warrants in the evenings as well. So just make sure you stay tuned. We'll keep you updated. This will not impact us, Tropical Storm Gordon, but we're quickly heading into the climatological peak of hurricane season, and it certainly deserves our attention. I just kindly ask so you have a way to get information. And as far as today is concerned, what we're watching, summarizing this for you before I wrap it on up, it is the chance of showers and thunderstorms, scattered, quickly moving showers, downpours like we had yesterday. That chance of rain, as you can see on the graphic, will peak early to mid-afternoon and so gradually diminish later this evening. Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley is here today working on Labor Day, and I'll have that complete weather forecast for you coming up on the news at noon. Watching it on TV, you can also stream it in the WTOC weather app.